Shadow banning. Have you been shadow banned? Have you heard of shadow ban, urban legend, or truly happening?
Blocked and reported.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Urban legend or harsh reality?
Topic. I think a lot of creators have wondered whether shadow banning is a real thing or just a myth. Some platforms have actually admitted to using certain algorithms that can limit content visibility. So it's a bit of both. Are you thinking of diving into that topic for your content?
Absolutely. I think we absolutely should. Let's talk about that. So let's talk about all the different factors that could play into why maybe content would not perform well. And no matter the platform, but let's focus on YouTube and the X platform, formerly known as Twitter. Go ahead, my lady.
All right, let's do it. So on YouTube, for instance, the algorithm can be influenced by engagement metrics like watch time, likes, and comments. And if a video doesn't hit certain benchmarks, it might not get recommended as much. And then on the X platform, there's definitely a focus on user interactions. And sometimes accounts can get limited visibility if they're flagged for certain behaviors. So there's a lot to unpack there.
There is a lot to unpack, and not just what she's talking about, but let's talk about into the video creation itself, right? So we first of all have to meet fair use acts if we are using someone else's content to prove a point or to talk about something or to bring awareness to our viewers. Then we have to think about, like, let's take YouTube for instance. YouTube likes hashtags, YouTube likes nice thumbnails, YouTube likes in-depth description, and there's a whole host of things that go into the analytics. So at what point do we maintain our true selves, our originality, or become a slave to the algorithm and the, what I think is somewhat folklore, the big bad algorithm is out to get us, we're shadow banned, right? And we do have, not definitive proof, but hard allegations, and I think there is more proof coming forward that this was actually happening on certain platforms. And I can witness myself that it actually happened to me on the TikTok platform and on the X platform, formerly known as Twitter. I feel like I know what happened. And then there's other circumstances where people may not like what you say, or they're just trolling. And then let's talk about the bot problem. So how many things are those that we have to really take into consideration and factor in when we talk about shadow banning?
Absolutely. There are so many layers to it. It's definitely a balance between creating authentic content and also making sure you're hitting those platform best practices. And you're right, there are definitely cases where people have experienced some form of shadow banning, whether it's intentional or maybe just a byproduct of the algorithm. And then, like you said, there's the bot problem, there's user reporting, there's just so many factors that play into it. So it's definitely a big conversation, and one that I'm sure a lot of creators are going to find really interesting.
I could agree more. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this on the cutting room floor in the editing house. This one's not going to run very long because I did want to address it. And I have been wanting to address it because I've heard the term thrown around so much. And I've watched a lot of YouTube videos with other content creators that, are telling how to do things. And there are a lot of channels out there that will try to propagate and promote that they have the perfect recipe, how to make you successful on the X platform. And I call it chasing the dragon because, we can fall victim to that kind of stuff. And look, what do we expect our viewership to be? What do we expect out of our viewers? And have we even asked what our viewers expect from us? And those are the main things that I think about is, what can I bring to the table? What can I bring to my viewers? Is this stuff that they even want to hear? And I've heard many content creators say that, hey, you can talk about anything really. And the same goes with the X platform. Now, let's keep in mind too that Twitter has recently undergone a bunch of changes since what year? 2021, Mary Beth?
Yeah, exactly. I think it was around 2021, and then onward, when Elon Musk took over and it became the X platform, they've definitely made a ton of changes to their algorithms and how content is shown. So it's definitely an evolving landscape. And you're right, it's easy to kind of get caught up in the chase for the perfect formula.
It is,
But
because let's talk about Twitter, now known as the X platform, and the changes that it's undergone. So before Elon Musk, it was my understanding that Twitter wasn't even profitable, and then you had the censorship issue apparently. So then Elon Musk acquired Twitter. Now, remember, Mary Beth's last update was in 2024, not even the mid 2024. It was like just past the first quarter of 2024 calendar year. And Elon Musk had acquired the X platform. And now XIA has acquired the X platform. So can you tell, maybe why a video isn't performing well, or maybe why, you're not being seen, or whatever's going on? And I'll say it again, there is so much to unpack because there's so many different factors that go into it on any given platform, unless it's one that is just being built from the ground up and you happen to know the developers, which is the case for us. We do know a couple of people. I've met one developer on another platform, and we've been kind of talking back and forth with another developer. So we'll get into more of that later. So my point is that, with that said, with all of that to factor in, I think the thing that resonated with me the most from all the research that I've done regarding, how can I get the algorithm to pick up my stuff? Well, I just try to keep doing better. And I do take suggestion, like I had friends along the way that told me, thumbnails, people like to see eyes, faces, stuff like that, like what's trending right now. There's nothing wrong with looking at that. But I'm not going to lose my individuality. And I'll say it again, as I've said in so many other videos, that I truly enjoy doing the B-roll editing. I love the stock footage. I've studied other content creators. This was what I had always wanted to do. And, at first I was like, oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, blah, 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 blah. And it was only because I didn't know how to do it, and my stubbornness. And what about my hubris to think that I might be so interesting that people might want to watch me without any kind of maybe background, or even see that I put any effort, that I just want you to sit here and listen to me talk, because I don't want to be an echo chamber. And I do hope that you guys will keep commenting. I want to do a special huge shout out and thank you to my friend, Not That Kind of Karen Girl. We are kindred spirits. I really feel that way. We met through Terror Ted's Tales YouTube channel, and now I'm on that Discord. And this lady has been so supportive and amazing, and she just real talk. We have real conversations. So huge round of applause. Love to you, sugars. And maybe one day we can do something together too. All right, guys, I think that's about all I've got. I just wanted to run my mouth for a little bit and tell you my feelings on, the whole YouTube thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm just not sure about that right
Y'all
now.
forgive me for the way that I look. I wanted to add this addendum and side note. So this is Sunday. It's 4th of July weekend. So we're wrapping up the weekend. And I hope you all had a great, wonderful, happy, celebratory weekend. You guys, we've got some exciting things coming. And if you've made it this far and you've not yet subscribed, we do hope we've earned your subscription by this point. So you guys, I wanted to bring this one completely raw. And like I said, I'm not really attaching the other content. I'm just bringing this to as a talking piece. I want to see what it does. I'm not going to heavily B-roll it. And I said it. All right, guys. So I wanted to bring this video a little more raw to you. So I'm going to close out this way. I'm not going to include a lot of video content. There's tons of YouTube content regarding shadow banning, what it actually means. As far as the X platform goes, I feel like as long as we stick to the rules and the guidelines, I myself have been suspended from the X platform over some crazy stuff that was going on. But remember, anytime, companies merge or one takes over another, there's always going to be glitches in the system, whether it be in the, the digital, aka the matrix, or the physical. So I said all that to say this, that I have fallen in love with B-roll editing. I wanted to give this side note at the end, addendum. If you guys have made it all the way through to this point, we thank you. We thank you so much. Our little channel is growing, and it's all because of you, the viewer. But the only way we know what you want to hear about is for you guys to let us know. And I do want to do a huge shout out to my good buddy, That Kind of Karen. I don't even remember what your name was before that, but I absolutely love that name. I remember when she put it in the poll on Discord, should I go with this name? And I absolutely love it. Not that kind of Karen. And I can always count on you to help me keep the conversation going. So you guys, yes, let's keep feeding the algorithm. And you, the audience, you are my algorithm. And most of these YouTubers that, tell you, hey, I can show you how to do this. It's this pillar system. And they're not wrong about their pillar system. And they openly and freely, most of them say the same thing that I'm saying now, that the shadow banning thing is kind of more of a myth, and it takes on so many different meanings. Of course, I want to blame the algorithm as to why my content's not getting out, because it's good. Other people tell me that it's good, So what do? We break through the algorithms, and the way that we do that is together and pushing each other's content forward. Is it logical to say that every YouTuber and content creator that, I follow on other platforms or subscribe to, that we have the time to watch each other's content all the way through all the time? Absolutely not. That's ridiculous. I watch people because I want to, because they keep me informed. So hopefully if we help you do that and we help push others forward, then we can all collectively work together. And I feel like we kind of already are. And as long as we always stay transparent with each other and we call each other out, let's not block each other, mute each other, and all that stuff for what? All right, guys, that's all I got. My name is Regina Connell, and we will see you on the flip flop. Thanks for staying through.